Karen's like my unpaid intern. She's like, keeps an eye on me. It's just for the glory. There's no money in it. She's just helping me out. Yeah, so it's gonna be a big shift coming up. And I think we can feel, oops, somebody's coming in. I think you can feel this sort of shift coming in like multiple parts of your life. When the seasons change, different parts of ourselves kind of get activated. In yoga, we would call this like shift in the activation of our chakras. So these like spinning wheels of energy. And during the times in the wintertime, everything is very dormant, and we're supposed to be dormant also, really. Even though we don't really get to be as much. We still have to work and do all the things. But right now is this ignition, we can kind of call it. You can maybe feel that when you're like looking at your garden growing, you're like, oh my God. And there's an excitement, but there's also this like, oh my God, there's a lot to do. Right? So this is always, hey Rocky, this is always the balance, right? It's like everything has this like light and dark. It's wonderful to have a garden, but it's also like now you're gonna weed the garden, you gotta take care of the garden, right? So it's always gonna be like that. Equal opposite reactions. So in our yoga practice, we practice dealing with these contradictions, right? We practice widening our window of tolerance for discomfort. Is a huge part of what we do in yoga. We could do that by sitting quietly, which is very uncomfortable for most of us, right? Even me, who's been teaching yoga for a very long time and practicing meditation, it's uncomfortable, right? But we know that there's a flip side to it as well, right? So we always are holding these polarities. We're always holding those polarities, and they can be both, which is really important to always remember. It can be uncomfortable and rewarding. So widening our window of tolerance in our yoga practice means breathing through discomfort, learning about our bodies, knowing when it's enough, knowing when it's not enough, right? Where you're in a pose and you're like, nah, right? It's like, that's not enough, you know? But if you're like, I can't breathe, or I'm like, that's too much, right? So we're learning about our bodies and we're building this mind-body connection where the mind is learning about the body and the body is trusting the mind, right? Because when the body reacts like in this, like pulling a muscle or something like that, that's the body being like, you've taken it too far. Now I have to step in and shorten the range of motion for this muscle because you pulled it too far, and now I have to pull it in, right? That's like how we pull muscles, right? And it's just really interesting, like to start to build this relationship with the body and realize that once we build more relationship, more trust, like what the body will do for us, right? Because the body's always holding back because it wants to conserve energy. But the more you build this relationship with your body, mind and body, like you can convince it to go a little further. And this is what athletes do. Like they're able to enter into a mindset that we are practicing getting access to. Some of us already have it, right? Some of us are already able to go there. Like that's really what it is, right? You have to go there in your mind and your body will follow, but it will only follow if it trusts you. There has to be a lot of trust there. If it doesn't trust you, you might be able to get it, you might be able to force it, but you're probably going to injure yourself because you're not aware of where that edge is, right? If your edge is here, you're going to push it just that much every time. You can't push it this much because you're going to hurt yourself. So this is what we do every time that we train. It's just this little, you remember my amazing diagram? Who remembers it? Oh, so good. Anyway, it's like a circle and the arrow, but it's just a little push. It's just a little push every time you train, right? If you're sick, you don't push. If you're injured, you don't push, right? But if you feel good, it's a little push every time. And that's what we've been doing through this entire off-season training. Every time we train, it's a little push. Right? That's why I walk around the room during the circuit. I'm like, you could lift heavy, you could lift heavier, you could lift heavier, you could lift heavier, right? Because I can see it in your face, you know, like if you're lifting enough. So we're gonna widen the window of tolerance in our practice today, and then we're gonna try to remember that when we're out on the water, how it feels and how we do it. So that is it. I think we've been sitting long enough. Let's move around. Yeah. All right. So we're coming into a tabletop position, spreading the fingers nice and wide. We're gonna get the hips stacked right over the knees. Tops of the feet are down. We're gonna draw a circle with the pelvis. We're gonna swirl the pelvis back towards the hips, around to the side, up front, and then to the other side. So like you're kind of going through the bases on a baseball diamond, maybe. Is that a circle? Or is it more like a hexagon?
It's a diamond.
Oh, it's a diamond.
Baseball diamond?
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, you can tell I don't watch baseball. All right, changing directions. That's this Katona yoga teacher. Katona is a really interesting style of yoga, but we have one of them here in Vermont, and she would always call this like going around the, maybe she did say baseball. Gosh, all right. Did everybody switch directions?
Yes.
Great. And then finding stillness in the spine, widening out the knees, bringing the big toes to touch. So we've got kind of a diamond, right? All right, sit the hips back to the heels into extended child's pose. Forehead comes down, palms press down into the mat. Yeah. Take a few big breaths into the belly, the low back, the sides of the body. Maybe even feeling it up into the upper back. The ribs expand, the heart center expands. Walking the hands to the right side of the mat, lift the head, pick up the other hand. You're gonna bring yourself into a little curve into the left side. Breathing into the space between the ribs. Keeping the belly soft and spacious, expanding and contracting with each breath. Walk the hands over, pick the head up, coming to the other side. Starting to really get oxygen into the body, oxygenating the muscles and the mind, and it starts to send signals to the body and the mind like something's gonna happen. So we're building up. Back to center, lifting the hips, bringing the knees back underneath the hips. And on your inhalation, opposite arm and leg will extend out. Doesn't matter what side you start. Exhale to bring elbow and knee together underneath you, chin to chest, rounding the back. Inhale to straighten the spine, reach long. Exhale, rounding the back, elbow to knee. Continue using the rhythm of your own breath in and out through the nose. Not rushing yourself. One more time, full inhale, full exhale, and then we'll meet in tabletop. Settle into center, finding that balance, and then moving into second side. The inhale initiates the length. The exhale initiates the contraction. Slow, smooth. We got our resident troublemaker. What she does.
Sorry, guys. Here we go.
Last full breath. Setting, hand down and knee down. We'll take the right leg out 90 degrees to the side, plant it, toes pointed towards the cement wall. Inhale here as you exhale, sit the hip back towards the heel. Inhale, lift the hips, bring the shoulders back over the wrists. And exhale to rock it back. So we're going to be just going between these two positions, following the breath. The breath is our connection between the mind and the body. The breath is happening right now. And unlike the mind, the breath and the body don't time travel, right? Your body exists right here in the moment. The breath is right here in the moment. So it helps to anchor the mind by focusing on the breath. Good. The next time that the hips are up, lifting. Okay, so a few things before we do this. Push some weight into the right hand. As you press into the right palm, lift your right leg and bring it across to touch on the other side. Good. And then lift it up and bring it back to the 90 degrees. Little tap on each side. So we're just doing a little tap of the toes. Tap. And bring it back around. Tap. Nice. So I want you to try to keep the rest of your body totally still. So you're looking down. Both arms are straight, even though you can feel that the right palm has more pressure. Last time across, and then bringing yourself back to that 90 degrees and come into an upright posture. Bring the block with you. And the block is going to come over to the left side. Good. I think there's an extra. Will you throw a block to her? Oh, he's coming there. Nice. So we're going to take our hand to the block. Now it could be low, medium, or high. And it's whatever allows you to get into a straight, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, line between the fingers and the toes, right? So we're creating the straight line. So we're not kind of wilting like a flower, right? We're trying to create this integrity, right? So oblique is having to engage in order to be here. So starting to lighten the load on the hand, you might just lighten it and keep the hand down, or you can bring the arm up, which requires a lot of core, right? So now this is just the core keeping us in this position. So a little tuck down of the ribs and find the breath. Keep breathing. Nice. Lauren's even smiling, which is a little crazy. Oh, sure, we got another smile over here. Good. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, relax the right arm and coming into the second side. So you can feel immediately, right? Heat leaving the arm. Can you feel that? Yeah. So anytime that we are offered even the tiniest bit of recovery, we want to recognize it and we want to take advantage of it, right? We want to like sink into it because sometimes between races, there's only like 4 minutes, right? And we have to race again, right? So we want to be able to not stay, no, we have to be able to recognize and lean into the rest. The inhale brings both arms high. Exhale to plant and bring the knee in. Very nice. So we want to recognize when is work, when is rest. Bring the left leg out, plant it. Good. Inhale here as you exhale, set the hip back towards the heel. Inhale, rise. Exhale to sink. A few more rounds, just following your own rhythm, nice and smooth. Noticing where in the body you're feeling stretch. Right? Don't mentally avoid it, just breathe into it. The next time the shoulders are up over the wrist, stay. Pouring some weight into the left hand here. We're gonna lift the leg, bring it across to tap. Nice, and at your own pace, back and forth. Try to keep the rest of the body still, head is down, arms are straight. Nice, really isolating. Tap across, don't rush, just whenever you get there, tap across. And then the foot will plant out 90 degrees, coming into an upright posture. Block comes over to the side. Start with the hand down. First, just establishing that line best we can. Yep, nice. Yeah. Good. Starting to lighten the hand that's down. Lightening. Maybe it ends up coming over the head. Good. And then move your thumbs back like you're going to touch the mirrored wall behind you and breathe. Yeah, breathing is important. On the inhale, both arms rise up. Exhale to release. Good. Take a second. The inhale brings both arms high, and the exhale plants the hands, bring the knees in. I think that's all I want to do into you. Oh, I have one. Okay. I'm gonna move over here so you can see me better. So tucking the toes under, we're gonna hover the knees. So we're gonna table hover. So the knees are about 2 inches off of the floor. There's kind of a lot of pressure in the big toes here. And then sitting the hips back towards the heel, pause and a crouch. You're in a crouch position. Yep, hips are all the way as far back towards the heel as you can get. Nice, and then lift the hips up. We're gonna come into a short dog. So the arms are on the outsides of the ears, the heels will be up, and the chest is pressing towards the top of the thighs with a little big bend in the knees. Yeah, roll forward so that the shoulders are over the wrists, and then hover the knees. Nice, so we're gonna take that path a few more times. Crouch back, lift, roll forward, and hover. Crouching, lifting, roll forward, and up. Lift, forward, and hover. Good. This time, keep the short dog once you're back there. Very nice. All right, so this is hard, but I think maybe we're ready. We're gonna pour weight into the right hand. Take the left hand and reach it across to either the ankle or wherever the leg, whatever you can like grab onto. And then you're gonna pull on the leg and twist. So you're gonna be looking underneath your right armpit. I know, just give it a go. It's really hard, so if you're feeling like it's really hard, then you're probably doing it correctly. Release, back to your short dog, and change sides. So now the right hand comes across, grab on to the outside of either the ankle or the leg, and then pull, bringing yourself into a twist. So you're opening your heart under your left armpits. Nice, don't forget the breath. Nice, release. And walk the feet forward to fold over the legs. Good, clasping on opposite elbows, nice bend in the knees so we can ragdoll here, let the head go. Big inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Yeah, releasing tension, right? We recognize we just did something hard and now we're doing something easy. We must take advantage of this time to release tension and heat. Release the elbows on your inhale, halfway lift, find a flat back. Exhale, fold over the legs, chin to chest. 2 more times. Inhale, find the flat back. Knees stay a little bent. Exhale to fold forward, chin to chest. Inhale, halfway lift, find the flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left leg back. Drop the back knee, top of the foot comes down. Where's my block? Oh, it's a little far away. So block is gonna come underneath the left hand. Yep. Get the ankle under the knee, so make adjustments. And the back hip is very open. So I would move your front foot way forward, much more forward. Yeah, and then send the knee. And then we're gonna reach the right arm up, twist. Nice. So try not to lose balance. If you start to feel like you're twisting your hips, see if you can level out the hips a little bit here. Now the option is to tuck the back toe under and lift the knee up. If you take this option, squeeze the quad really hard on that back leg and the glutes. So we got open knee, open hip. Nice. Finding breath, let the mind rest on the breath. Good, if the knee is up, lower it down. Very nice. Both arms come high over the head. Yeah, so you're gonna touch the thumbs behind you. And here's these polarities. So the low body is moving forward, but the upper body is moving backward. right? So, and we are trying to balance, if the power in both the upper body and the lower body is the same, we will find that balance in between. If we're going too far forward or too far back, we're gonna feel a little wobbly. Good, reach forward. And then open the right arm up, look over the shoulder twist. See if you can relax your shoulders down, lengthen the neck, get nice and tall. A little softness in the elbows will help bring the shoulders down. You don't need to lock out the elbows. Yeah. On the inhale, both arms come high over the head. Exhale to plant the hands, move the block out to the side, tuck back toes, high plank position. Next option always to be on the knees, that's fine. If you're on the balls of the feet, squeeze your tush, squeeze your quads, pressing the floor away. Really open up the back of the knees so we're not bending the knees, and the nipple line is between the thumbs. Yeah, very nice. No mountains, no valleys, drop to the knees. Good, untuck the toes. It's an inhale to lower halfway down, hug the elbows in. Exhale, press. 2 more times. Last one. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lower all the way down. Baby Poga at the bottom, in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Yeah. Nice. On the inhalation, feet walk to the hands, coming to the top of the mat. Fold over the legs when you get there. Let the head go, chin to chest, top of the head towards the floor. Bend the knees as much as you need to feel like you're getting that good stretch, not just through the hamstrings, but through the back body, all the way to the top of the head. Nice. On your inhalation, halfway lift, alert. Exhale, sending the right leg back. Drop the back knee down, top of the foot. On an inhale, both arms are going to come over the head. Oh wait, we have to twist. Okay, sorry. My block comes over to the right side. Hand comes onto the block. Knee over the ankle. And we reach up. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. So we're really opening through that back hip. So I would say, Lori, that front foot can come way farther forward and then send the knee forward. Yeah, and then that's going to open up. Nice, nice. Option to tuck the back toes under, lift the back leg. It's just an option, you don't have to take it. If you do take it, squeeze the heck out of the quad and the glute, finding a lot of engagement there. And find the breath. Lower the knee if it's lifted, untuck the toe, both arms come high over the head. So the low body is moving forward, the upper body is moving backward. A lot of energy through the hands. Reach forward towards the cement wall. Left arm opens, looking over the shoulder. Twist. Both arms reach high over the head. Exhale, plant the hands. Tuck back toes, high plank position. Spreading the fingers really wide, pressing the floor away. So there's a little rounding through the upper back and shoulder blades. Good, lower the knees down, untuck the toes, inhale down halfway. Exhale, press. Inhale down. Exhale, press. One more time, hug those elbows in. Inhale at the top. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Baby or half cobra at the bottom. Inhale. Exhale to downward facing dog. On your next inhalation, walking your feet to the hands. Exhale to fold over the legs as you get there. Inhale, rise to stand through that flat back. Bending the knees, press down to lift up. Exhale, Tadasana, arms by your sides. We are in mountain pose. It's warm in here now, yeah? Good, so feet are underneath the hips, a little softness in the knees. Right, so we want to have as stacked joints as we can. So if I were to stand naturally, I would stand like this because my knees hyperextend. I'm like, well, like, right, not great. pressure in the low back, all kinds of things happening. So I actually have to think a little bit about how to stand in a way that is optimal for my body, right? So take that moment, find that alignment. All right, inhale, arms lift high. Exhale to sit back into chair. Very nice. Bring the arms out towards the cement wall. Yes. Nice. Coming up onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels up. Not a lot. This doesn't need to be a lot. Good. Lower down 2 more inches. Ooh. Inhaling here. As you exhale, bring the arms behind you and sit the heels down. Exhale, balls of the feet reach towards the wall. 2 more times. Good. Hold here on your inhale. Arms come over the head. Press through the balls of the feet. Try to stay on the balls of the feet. Good. Take a breath. On your next exhalation, heels drop. Swan dive down. Forward fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, step the left leg back. Inhale, rise up, high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Front knee over front ankle, back leg straight. Nice. Big inhale here, slight back bend. Exhale, bend the knees and the elbows. Inhale, rise. Exhale. 2 more times. Good. Returning to the high lunge. So we've got a knee bend in the front, straight leg in the back. We're going to plant the back foot. So that requires us to open the back hip a little bit. Yeah. And then pinch forward at the front hip. Arms come behind. Very good. Yeah. So I'm going to lengthen out because I'm going to try to find, it's easy for me because I can see myself in the screen. I'm like, oh yeah, flat back. And a straight line basically from my hip, my shoulder, my hip, my knee to my ankle. Now, option here is to bring arms over the head. Lengthening the lever, which is what we just did, makes everything a lot harder. Bend the front knee more if you can. If you can. Very nice. On your inhalation, rise. Exhale, brings hands behind, either to interlace fingers or you can clasp onto your opposite wrist, whichever you would like, and back. So if you're interlacing fingers, see if you can press those palms together. Keep the bend in your knee, front knee. Yeah, there you go. Good. Pulling the heart open. In order for the heart to open, the back must close, right? These are the polarities. They're always there. On the inhale, both arms come high over the head. Exhale, high plank position. Inhaling at the top of your plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Hug the elbows in. Untuck toes, back bend on the inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, feet to hands. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, rise to stand. Arms come high over the head. Exhale, Tadasana, arms by your sides. Very good. Regulate, take a moment. Right. Where are you gripping or holding where you don't need to be? Okay. You have to learn how to control your effort and your output. Inhale, arms come high. Exhale, sit down into chair. Reach the arms out towards the cement wall. Very nice. We're going to do a little seesawing, scissoring, I don't know, something like that. So the right arm is going to come forward, and as the right arm comes forward, the hip is going to come with it. Yeah, back to center. Now left. Back to center. Right. Center. Left. Good. A few more times. Center. Right. Center. Left. Center. Right. Hold. Nice. So what we're doing here is we're creating a relationship right between the shoulder and the hip. Okay. This is what we're looking for. Very nice. Center, left side. hold. Yes, feel that connection. Front shoulders forward, the hip follows, and we're not twisting through the pelvis. It's like the pelvis is on train tracks. Good, center, arms come high over the head, stand up. Good, pull forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Right leg steps back on the exhale. Inhale, rise up, high lunge position. Big inhale here, slight back bend. Exhale, bend elbows and knees. Inhale to rise. Exhale, bend. 2 more times. Good. Rise up, pause. Good. Hands to hips. Let's open up the back hips so we can plant the foot. Yeah, very nice. Square the ribs as much as you can forward, and then hinging at the front hip, arms come behind. So noticing knee over ankle. Yeah, very nice. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. The heart is really open. Yeah, nice. Yeah, really nice. Option here to bring arms over the head. Widening the window of tolerance. Breathe. Reassure your body. On your inhalation, both arms come high over the head. Exhale, find high plank position. Oh shoot, I forgot our back bend. Bring your left foot forward. Good, rise up. Sorry, you guys skip it. All right, so we're back into our warrior one, low body. Interlacing fingers, or you can clasp onto your wrist, open up the heart. Keep the bend in the front knee. On the inhalation, both arms come high. Exhale, finding plank. Inhaling at the top of your plank. Exhale, lower down knees, hug elbows in, coming to the mat. Back bend of your choice on an inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Good, glide forward, coming down to the knees, and crisscross the ankles, and come onto your foot. Nice. Right. I like to think about the breath like, well, I don't know too much about nuclear reactors, but I think I saw in a movie one time that like they have this like constant, like they have to be constantly like water going over like coils or something all the time to cool it down, or else it will overheat. Does that sound right?
It's over the rods, but yes.
Rods. Yeah, and I really think about the breath being the same exact way for us, right? As soon as we start to hold or constrict the breath, like our pressure starts to rise, not just in our bodies, but like in our minds. It sends signals to the nervous system saying like, something's not right, right? Think about it, like any book you read where it's like, we thought somebody was in the house, she held her breath. You know, it's like, it means it's sending a signal where it's like something is really, something dangerous is out there. Keeping the breath flowing, right? It also takes out all of the things that we don't like, the waste, right? Every exhale is like, it's just shit you don't need, okay? Whether you want to think about that as physical, which it is, I mean, that's science, or you can combine that with thinking about it as mental or emotional, right? Let it go. What's going on? Oh, we're gonna do some twisting. Twisting. Back by popular demand. We'll be just lies. So we're gonna take the block and squeeze it between the knees. Now get the ankles in here. So we're gonna flex the ankles. Most of us really lack dorsiflexion, so this is plantar flexion. Yes, and then this is dorsiflexion. Yeah, and most of us lack dorsiflexion. So anytime that we have an opportunity to dorsiflex, Take it. Okay. And then look at the toes. The toes are like, yeah, like jazz hand toes, jazz toes. So we're gonna reach out. Think about lifting up the heart without hyperextending the low back. I know it's not easy, but we're gonna try. And then as we lean back to find a challenging place for us, we might drag the heels with us, right? So you might, like the heels might come back with you a little bit. All right, now we're not lifting legs. We're just gonna be here. Now you gotta lower down until it's hard. Okay, now we go 8 Mississippi, 7 6 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi. On up. Good. Bring the soles of the feet together and let yourself just kind of be heavy. Right? So we recognize this as a time of replenishment. All the times that we are not working hard, our ATP, which gives our muscles energy, right, will start to build up, right? So the more we can kind of like stop using our energy systems, there will be more ATP to use later. I think that's what Jim Farintosh said that one time. He's got a really good, Jim Farintosh, amazing coach, Canadian coach. He had like the best diagram for like understanding energy production in the body, like the ATP and everything. Anyway, I have it somewhere. Maybe I'll bring it in one day. All right, come on up. All right, back in. So we're adding on. Now you don't have to do this part. You can do what we just did. But if you're interested in lifting the heels, you may do that. Now there are rules to that, and the rule is that you have to keep your heels as high as your knees. So if you lift, you're not here. Lift the ankles as high as the knees, okay? Reaching out, very good, squeeze the block, and start to open, 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 till it's engaging. It's hard for you. 8 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, breathing Mississippi, 5, 3 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, come on in. Good, this time widen the legs out, and then relax your toes and ankles, your shoulders, your jaw, the muscles of your face soften. Feel yourself breathing into your upper back, creating expansion around the shoulder blades with your inhale. All right, we got one more variation, which is going to be adding in the rotation. So you can do this with heels down or heels up, but the rule for actually both, but particularly if your legs are up, is that you're not allowed to move your knees. Now you are going to want to do like this maybe, I don't know, you're going to want to move your legs, it's just natural, but I want you to try your best to rotate with isolation, really isolating the upper body core, okay? I'm like, Lori's smart. She's like, I'm not starting until we're starting. Very smart, Lori, very smart. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna press the block a little bit, all right? So everybody has to go at my same rate. Nobody gets to go faster than me. Okay, here we go. We're twisting. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2. Yep, that's appropriate face to be making. 1. Yeah. All right. Rocking forward. We're going to bring the right foot to the outside of the knee. What joint is that? We're going to hug the other leg and do it. Great. See what you can soften and relax. If anything is tight that doesn't need to be noticed, and adjust. Yeah, back through center, a brief counter twist without yet rearranging the legs. Very nice. The importance of the energy system, sorry, I was just thinking about Jim Baratosh's picture. It's really interesting because it helps understand, get back to center, it helps us understand what we experience in the boat when we have to switch energy systems. For example, like going from the start, change legs, going from the start where you're using it's anaerobic, right? So we're not using oxygen in the start, we're using I believe, shit, what is it called? Oh, I'm really gonna need to look at this diagram again. But anyway, after the start, after you use that up, you have to switch to aerobic, and that switch is uncomfortable. And we all feel it, right? There's always like, it's like when your coach calls, okay, lengthen, right? It's like, yeah, but it's also like, oh, you know, because you're not allowed to let the boat slow down. You have to lengthen into this aerobic use of the energy as well. Good, back to center, brief counter twist. And to center. Does Brett ever talk about this during circuit stuff?
No.
I think this would be a really good thing to at least kind of understand. Obviously, I'm gonna need to, you know.
Are you going to the coach's clinic with Karen Todd?
I have been.
Yeah,
But-
one that's.
No, it's such a hard time because now that I own the restaurant, this is like all hands on deck time. You know, it's like, it's not a good time to go away because all the people, all the snowbirds are moving back to the islands. Yeah, it's like, it's everything is like going up. Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. We're doing yoga. Okay, so we're gonna lie down. We're gonna take a block with us and scoot it on the low height underneath the sacrum. Nice, and your sacrum is kind of like your upper butt. We just don't want the block to be on your low back. Okay. And we're gonna take the right leg, lift it, and then cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And you can scooch that left foot a little closer to the midline, so you don't feel like you have to like hold your legs in place as much. I want you to be able to relax as much as possible. Now, if you don't feel any stretch in the outside of the right hip here, then lift the leg up and you can give it a hug in, sandwiching at the hips here a little bit. Yet another option here is to, if you're in this hug, is to straighten the left leg. So you might get a little hamstring stretch as well. Maybe some ankle circles. So we are through all the peak poses. Just gonna be guiding the body back to equilibrium. If the feet are lifted, let's plant them and retwist on the second side. So it's like we just brought our body up to the top of the mountain and now we're headed back down.
So you feel this in your outer, Kirsten?
Yes, so the outside, so this is like a pigeon. And it might help if you press that left knee away from your torso. So actively, like not with your hand, but like with your mind. If you know what I mean. So, yeah, it's like a pigeon. If you ever do a pigeon pose, it's like, we're basically in that pigeon pose. Where do you feel it?
Oh, I feel it more in the adductors.
In the inner thigh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't mean it's wrong or anything. Do you feel adductor when you do a regular pigeon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It's a tight, nice, unwinding. Good. Now, this stretch is not for everyone. So there's options here. So one is to lengthen out just one leg and let the heel be down. Now, if this bothers your low back at all, just come back to the regular bridge. You don't need to do it. Now, if this feels kind of nice to you, you're like, oh, this is good for opening the hip. You might do both at the same time. Again, not for everybody. For some people, this creates a tension in the low back, which we do not want. So there's some options here. If you've got both legs out, you might stretch arms over your head. So you're kind of like draping your body over this block. Letting the pelvis be completely surrendered into the block. We're not trying to hold ourselves up or resisting gravity. And you might be, bring the feet back to the earth. Press into the feet just enough to lift your block, or lift the hips and remove the block and lower down nice and smooth. Giving the knees a hug in wide, so the knees are outside the rib cage. Pulling the knees down towards the floor, little rock side to side. And then we'll stretch the legs out. Let me check the time for each lesson. Cool, we can be here for about 2 minutes. I'm just gonna turn the lights off. You wanna get yourself into a position that requires no effort, so the legs stretch out long, arms out by your sides, palms facing up. And our final opportunity to truly allow for stillness and a release of effort in the body, which can be really challenging. You might use the breath to send these waves of relaxation through your body if you feel tense. Deep inhalation through the nose, opening the mouth to let it go. Wiggling fingers and toes, rolling the wrists, gentle rocking side to side of the head. Eventually the arms will come all the way over the head for a big stretch. And then the knees hug in, rocking to the right side of the body, all the way into the fetal position. So all the way over, like you're in bed. You've got a little pillow tucked under your ear. That can be your bicep on your right arm. And with as little effort as possible, pressing yourself into a seated position, grabbing a block along the way to scoot underneath your butt. Finding a sense of groundedness and connection into the block, through the pelvis, through the legs, and then through the torso, growing up tall. Yeah, so many wonderful metaphors in the springtime, but imagining the root system of all the little things that you may have planted, right? And then from that roots, right, this little stem starts to come up, reaching up towards the sky. Okay, so this is our same energy that we also are reaching up, reaching up, reaching up. And placing palms together at the heart center, dropping chin to chest. A moment of gratitude to yourself for coming to your practice. Not always easy to get here. A moment of gratitude for all of those people who practice with you in this room today and via Zoom, creating this community, this safe space for us to practice and explore. And finally, we offer our most humble thanks to all of the teachers who have walked this path before us, the lineages from which we borrow in order to do this practice today. We give thanks. And with a heart full of humility and gratitude, lift the chin, open the eyes. I close class with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. It means peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your yogi guide in your yogi adventure today. Always a pleasure. Yeah, super fun. If you have questions or comments, definitely let me know. Thanks to Karen, and we've got Michelle. Is that you? Oh, yes, it is. I saw MK.
Yes.
You're really testing me.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Maybe we'll see you next week.
Bye.